it's Ranger Rebecca from Pocahontas State Park. Thanks for joining me. I think that one of the best parts about being a park ranger is helping people learn how to safely make and start fires. Every campout deserves a great campfire, so let's learn a few ways that you can light up the night. Come join me. We are going to build two different types of fire. A cone fire, which is very good for quick heat, and a log cabin style fire, which is really good to make a nice bed of coals. Now, these two fire shapes are a little different, but they're both going to be in our fire ring, which helps contain the fire to keep us safe. I also have a bucket of water back here to extinguish the fires in case anything gets too out of hands. To have a successful fire, you're going to need at least three things: some tinder, some kindling, and also your fuel. Let me show you. Can you get a little closer? All right, so with our fire, we want to start with our tiny stuff. This is called tinder, and it can be this jute fiber I have here. It can be small things like pine cones, dryer lint is excellent, bits of dried leaves, and maybe some little bigger pieces of wood. All right, so that is our tinder. From there, we're going to go into kindling. So little bigger pieces of wood, maybe something about the size of your finger. And we'll make that into a nice little cone or a nest. I kind of like the term nest. All right. So after that, to make your cone fire, you will take your larger pieces of fuel and make them stand up like this to a cone. Now, I rarely have any luck with this, so I like to make a log cabin style. And to do that, you'll still keep your nest or cone of kindling and tinder in the middle. Let's add a little to it. Let's make a real campfire. There we go. Perfect. But instead of making a cone shape, you'll take two logs like this. And we'll take two more logs like this. And make sure you have plenty of oxygen in there. Let's add some pine needles for extra measure. And a few more pieces of kindling. Now, let's light it up. We have our lighter, and I always like to use a longer piece of wood with some paper wrapped around the end to start my fire. It's very important that you don't get too close to your fires when you are out here. All right. And there we have it. Simple enough, right? Well, did you realize that what is happening is a chemical reaction? That is right. So a fire starts when you have your oxygen and your fuel, and you have this heat source. So air, fuel, and heat make up our fire triangle. And we have plenty of air out here, and we definitely have plenty of wood, but what about a heat source? So over here, we have my pan. And one way you can start a fire is by using a battery and steel wool. Now, when the wool connects to these battery terminals, you should see a little spark. Do you see that? Maybe not the best way to get a fire going, but it is a way. You can also use the old magnifying glass trick, which is one of my favorite ways. And you have to wait for this thing to come out, and you can concentrate the light source and hopefully catch your tiny tinder on fire. Maybe I need a little more sun for that. Well, another similar thing to a magnifying glass is using a plastic bag with water. So you'll take your bag like this, put some water in there, twist it around, and then this cone down here acts very similar to your magnifying glass, and it should get the light. You can focus it on your tinder. Might help if we were in a little sunnier location and if my bag wasn't leaking. I don't think water is a very good ingredient when you're trying to make fire, but it can work. I promise you, I've done it before. It was like 5 years ago, but I did it. So another way to start a fire is using a magnesium fire stick. So I just happen to have some right here. And what you'll do, it comes normally in a striker, or with the striker rather, and you'll take this part and you're going to shave some of this magnesium off. And just like this. You want a pile about the size of a dime. And you'll just scrape this off. All right. There you go. There's some shavings in there. And then you will take your striker. You've got a saw edge and a straight edge. You'll take your straight edge and use this to strike this flint bar here. And hopefully catch a spark. Oh man, this part can be so tough, even for a park ranger. I think with a little practice, I'll be able to get it. And there you go. Well, you've seen several ways to start a fire and 2 ways to build a fire. So which was your favorite? Speaking of fires, I think ours is nice and warm enough and ready to roast a marshmallow. So let's go check it out. I think it's a great fire. And I am more than ready to have my marshmallow. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you learned a few ways that you can light up the night the next time that you go camping. Thanks.